Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about you. Yes, you. You, as in the person watching this video. You, as in the person who tends to participate in whatever happens to be a popular rant topic at the moment. You, as in the person who proudly thinks everyone who does recolors is a flat-out lazy idiot. You are wrong. Okay, now I understand there might be some things I need to clarify first of all. As many of you may recall, or may not recall, a while ago I did a rant regarding recolors, and how I think recolors are a little bit stupid in some regards. However, some of you took my words a little bit more seriously than I meant them to be projective, and that's more my fault than yours. See, in that video, I wasn't referring to everyone who does recolors. I was referring to only a select group of recolorers who take their work very, very seriously. Now, why they take their work seriously, I fail to understand. See, one common misconception when it comes to recolors is that they all don't take their work seriously. Most people who do recolors don't take their work seriously at all and are usually really young. They usually do it just for fun on Sonic fan forums. Now, how do I know all this? Because I was one of these people. I used to do recolors all the time with a bunch of my old online friends. We would, screw around with some sprites, and, it was good fun, and none of us took it seriously. None of us said our work was original, and none of us went around acting like our work was the greatest stuff ever because it wasn't really our work to begin with. And we knew that. And people like us, and I'm going to refer to us because I was part of the community, take up about 90% of the recoloring population. The other 10% is where people like Bloodshot fall. See, most of the recoloring population don't really like people like Bloodshot, to be blunt. See, there's a thing that's called constructive criticism when it comes to Sonic fan work, and, well, pretty much anything else for that matter. On the forums, what happens is people usually make a recolor, and people say it's a recolor, and the guy's like, I know, how can I improve? Thus, you base your original sprite off that recolor and work with it, and slowly change it into something that's a bit more original, usually eventually ending in something that's completely 100% custom as your sprite work improves. That's usually how people progress. But there's a 10% of the population when it comes to recolors that don't take constructive criticism, that think just because they painted over someone else's drawing or sprite that it makes it a different character, that it makes it something original. And this, I have to say, is not the case. There's a reason why most of these people usually leave the forums. This is because not even the recoloring community accepts them, because they won't take any constructive criticism when it comes to their work. They won't make necessary changes. They won't try to make their work more original. They just say they want the red Sonic, and that's the way it's gonna be, and they outright refuse to change anything else. And one of my biggest issues when it comes to Bloodshot, at least, is that while he does keep saying that it is his character that he created, and I understand that he created the persona Bloodshot, the personality, the backstory, yeah, he came up with that, but the problem is that work isn't original either. His backstory screams of nothing more than a past emo, oh my god, you killed my family, I'm going to get revenge plot. It's the most generic crap anybody could come up with in their basement. It's absurd. And the problem is that he goes around claiming that his work is original and that his work deserves to be respected. Why? Why would we respect something that you won't take constructive criticism for? Why should we respect you for not doing anything original? And why should we respect you for coming up with some idea that isn't even yours? That's absolutely ridiculous. At least when it comes to most other recolors, they'll take your criticism, they'll admit that it's a recolor, and they'll try to fix it. And slowly, their work will improve. That's what happened with me, and that's what happened with a lot of my friends. And the thing is, most people who do recolors are just young kids who only want to have fun and screw around. They're usually reserved to Sonic fan forums and just stay there, because going anywhere else is a bad idea. They certainly aren't welcome on DeviantArt, they certainly aren't welcome on YouTube, so they stick to the Sonic fan forums where people will understand their work because they were there once, and give them criticism about it. That's how it works in the community. And unless you guys understand the community and how it works, I don't think you have the right to complain about it. Or at least have the right to call everyone who does recolors idiots and lazy hacks when you don't even understand what's going on because none of you do any research about this. Don't get me wrong, I understand people don't like Bloodshot. I don't like Bloodshot, for obvious reasons. But my point is that people like Bloodshot give the entire recoloring community a very, 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 very bad image. And a lot of you seem to think that every recolorer is like Bloodshot. No. No, far from it. Most recolorers are actually really young kids, and a lot of them are pretty nice. And a lot of them, surprisingly, are actually really mature, and that brings me to my next point, because this is something that's been driving me a little bit nuts lately. I've noticed a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, doing rants about kids on YouTube, and how, well, there shouldn't be kids on the internet, there shouldn't be kids on YouTube, they don't belong here, why are they on the site, blah-de-dee, 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 blah. Shut up. Immediately. Accounts have an age limit, so they're already lying to even have an account on here. But my problem is this. We were all kids once. We were all there. What gives you the right to judge someone based on their age? I've met a lot of kids that are actually really cool. And you know what? If a kid's making videos on YouTube, why don't you ignore them? If they aren't saying anything intelligent, then, don't watch the freaking video. See, this is one thing that drives me a little bit nuts, 'cause I notice most of the YouTube community goes by the policy, if you don't like a video, don't watch it. Well, what the heck are most of you doing? You're watching videos made by 5-year-olds, and then you're complaining about the kids being here. If, you didn't watch their videos, then they wouldn't bother you. If you don't like what the kid is doing, if you don't like what the kid is posting, then don't freaking watch it. Now you might be saying, well, this is our community and we have a right to say what we want. Okay, hey, yeah, that's all well and good. But you aren't going to do anything about it. No one's going to restrict the internet based on age. No one's going to tell the kids that they have to get off the internet. Just ignore them. And if they're harassing you or sending you messages about something stupid, then use the amazing invention that is known as the block button. Is it really that hard? Do you really have to make entire rants about children? Really? Really? There are so many other more important things you could be ranting about. There are so many other more important things you could be doing. But instead all of you are bitching about recolors and children. Wow. It's amazing. I'm sorry if I'm acting like a bit of a prick right now, but it's something that's been driving a little bit of a wedge into my spine lately. Mainly because it's going on for a few months and the trend just keeps, spiraling out of freaking control and it's driving me a little bit crazy. Oh well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little chat, and I'll see you next time, everybody. And stay sane.